Good morning. Welcome back to Matt's Mechanics. I haven't posted in a while, but I figured I'd start trying to get some videos out here. So today we're working on this '09 Yaris. I believe it's a 1.5 liter. Let's take a look. Alright, so real quick, we're going to pull the plugs. I'll show you exactly why we're going to do the spark plugs. This car has, how many miles does it have on it? Let's see. Car has 257,000 miles on it, and everything's original. Same motor, same trans, nothing's been rebuilt. It's been a pretty good car, but let me show you why we're doing the trans service quick. You can see how dark black that is. And actually, let me show you on a rag. That is dark black. Dark black. So we're gonna change out the filter for them. We got a pan gasket, not that rubber crap, it's a cork one. And all right, so real quick, 10 millimeter, 4 coils. These love to get stuck on Toyota or break. As you can see, one's already broken. Let me show you, hold on. Easier with a pick. Quick, easy pick. So we don't want to break these, so we push a little bit, and since they're basically just not strong enough to be pushed up anymore, see that? Right away they break. Seemingly the black ones always, more than the white ones. Those are off. Pull out the 410s. I do like that little trick that people have with the zip tie to get those on. It does work a lot of the time, which is really nice. Alright, keep these in order just in case you do have a misfire, and you can swap them out. Although, this one does not have a misfire, which is nice. This car was already previously inspected by me. This is a job we set up from the last time I saw them. Quick little spark plug socket. This one, we'll get right in. We're not reusing these plugs, so we can use it just in this fashion. I'm not worried about cracking ceramic. And Meta, stop recording. Alright, let's see how they look. That's really bad. Let me show you exactly why I'm saying that. I'll show you some new ones versus some old ones. So, I like Bosch. I like NGK too, but if I'm trying to save somebody money and still have some decent plugs, Bosch is not a bad plug whatsoever. The original ones in here were probably Denso, which is what's in here right now. Take a look. See all that buildup on there? The insulator, electrode, diode, all has a bunch of buildup. The gap is also extremely big, comparatively. We can check those, since this is a fine tip. You do need a special tool. It's not just a regular spark gapper, which is like that, just with a big blade. This actually has small pieces on it. So this is around 0.44, which isn't actually too far off. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too far off. They just have a lot of buildup on them. Some of them are worse than others. That one's pretty good. Pretty bad, I mean, but I'm saying pretty good. Yeah. This car's gonna run a lot better. Spark plugs let your car ignite that fuel a lot better when they're new, when they're fresh, when they're running right. Strong spark, strong ignition, quicker ignition, better gas mileage, better power. So, we're in California here. We don't always have to do this, but I like to use a little bit of anti-seize on these just in case. Say there were any issues. I'd rather somebody not have an issue because of my work. I'd rather just get it done right the first time. I try to drop these in without actually dropping them. Get them close to the wall, and let them just slide down. Okay, we're gonna swap out gloves. Alright, this is dielectric grease. This is conductive grease. It keeps moisture and dirt out, and it'll help with these things not getting seized on the plugs, if anything, which is really nice, especially with Fords. It's 5.4 liters. Oh man, plugs love to get stuck on those. Toyota, you don't typically have an issue with that, but I really like to keep things consistent. Just use a little bit of dielectric grease. It'll save you some time later on, likely. Okay. Nothing likes to stay still. So with spark plugs, hand tight first. You can torque to spec, but if you've been doing it for almost 20 years like me, you kind of have a feeling for when they're tight and when they're not. And you really want to keep using a spark plug socket that has basically a portion on the top for the ceramic to kind of hug so it doesn't cockeye at all, so it doesn't crack, because ceramic on spark plugs is very easy to crack, and once they crack you'll have a little misfire. You'll think, oh hey, I just put new plugs in, let me change the coil, but you'll find out later, even if you change the coil, you'll still be misfiring because the ceramic is letting a bit of that spark through the wall, and it will short towards the cylinder wall, or these bore walls. So just tighten up a little bit, just to where she stops. Perfect. There we go. It's like little crush washers on the spark plugs that you can feel compress into where it actually stops, and then you're just tightening to tighten. That's where you want to go to, and then just snug right past it. Right when that crush washer crushes, you'll feel it like that, and then just a little bit past. Alright, now we put the spark plugs back in the exact same order we took them out. Just where it's snug. You do not want to over tighten those, just right to where they bottom out, and then you're good. White ones were fine, we saw just a minute ago. Black ones, I should use a zip tie, which I will do momentarily. Get back to this in a moment. We're going to keep that cover off while we do the trans service. This is out. Black, black, black fluid. Let's move this. So as you can see, it takes Toyota WS fluid, world standard, but we're going to use some Max Life. It's a good equivalent for it. We have a new filter. We have a new filter with a shitty rubber gasket in here. Show you. Anytime you get these rubber gaskets, throw them away. They're garbage. They love to leak. There's no point. So you always buy another gasket, a cork gasket if you can, or it's polyurethane or neoprene. I forgot what the other ones are made out of. Those are really good too. But you want something other than the rubber. The rubber is garbage. Save your parts if you're doing it for a customer so that they can take a look at them when you're done. We'll save the filter as well, the old one. And let's put it up and start doing the service. We gotta drop the pan and drop the fluid. Alright, So, since we're doing the trans and this is a tiny car, you really want this thing to be level. We can measure how much fluid comes out. That's usually the easiest way so that we don't have to have it level and running to check the fluid. So, this car, because I'm already on the body, there is a portion of the frame right there we could do it, or go to the subframe and we'll put it right there. Do the other side now. It's a little higher on this side. Alright, that's fine. It does kind of slope down right here anyway, so that's fine. Alright, let me start dropping this pan. I'll get right back. Alright, these are usually a 10mm hex for most of these Allens that are going to be on the drain plug. Almost always are going to be either a 5 or a 10 or an 8, but most of the time a 10. Okay, let's lift this up so we don't get any splash. There we go. Very little splash. Now on Pro Demand, this calls for 2.45 quarts. Let's see how much actually comes out. Looks like a bit more than that to me, but let's see. Definitely looks like more than that to me. Alright, now we're about to drop the pan. Try not to make a huge mess, which a lot of the time, I actually didn't want to completely do that. It's a lot easier. Put a bolt in. Or two, but don't put it all the way in. Leave yourself a little gap like that. Right? Do another one over here too, so this thing just comes straight down when you do it. Because we're gonna need to slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean slightly, pry down on it, because we do not want to bend that pan. And grab a pry bar. I'll be ready. All right, so small pry bar, nothing crazy. And small movements sideways. See that? That's down. That's it. That's all you need to do. There you go, right into the pan. And it was about 2.5 quarts, almost exactly. Yeah, it looked like more to me, but it wasn't, which was great. Should have used a bigger drain pan, but whatever. Alright guys, I'm going to take this pan down. Let's take a look. Yeah, keep draining. This is why you want to put just 2 little bolts in, so this thing doesn't just drop on you. Because no matter when you drain it or not, there's always a little bit of fluid in it. Come on. There she is. Okay. And put the bolts in an easy place to access when you do it too. See? I put one in front and one on the other side so that I can actually reach them pretty easily. We're going to come straight down, tilt, drain the fluid, which is so black. Training drives okay though for having 200 and something thousand miles on it. Let's take a look. Not too much metal, it's a pretty normal amount. You can see it in here as well. Yeah, it's not the worst. Alright, I'm going to clean this up, I'll get right back. So you can see these are magnets, okay? Real basic. Any of that little particles of metal, clutch material, it all sticks to here. So when you get these out, you really want to make sure you get these very clean. Sides, all of it, get them super clean. You can actually see all this gray in there. That's all clutch material too. Some little bits of metal from bearings, things like that. Now mind you, again, a rebuild costs a lot more than a service, so. And I did test drive the car, it picked up fine. It wasn't slipping at all, so The car's got 275,000 miles on it. It's for a new driver, a kid. And honestly, I'm not trying to get anybody to spend thousands of dollars on doing a transmission. So we are just going to do a service and then see how she drives. I wanted to show you guys this. I just got this. This is from 1963-ish, 1965. It's an old Craftsman 1/3 of a horsepower grinder, but I mean, for how old this thing is, super smooth, little vibration. Saves me a bunch of time in cleaning up gasket services. So you can see, made great, clean work. It only took about 2 minutes. You want to clean it out again, get any of that material that the wire wheel shoved off out of there. And we make absolutely sure you put your magnets back. Yeah, Alright, we're going to take our new cork gasket. Victor Rhines, it's alright. I like Felpro or Victor Rhines, honestly, either one. Doesn't matter to me. Nice clean pan. Okay. Lines up beautifully. Alright. We do not use silicone or anything on these corks. They are perfectly fine just the way they are. Drain plug goes towards the back. Let's make sure we get this up even and level. There you go. You can put one in, get it nice and snug with your fingertips. Make sure the rest of the gasket is still lining up, which it is. Just pushed it a little bit in the back. Okay. Now that we have two, we're going to make sure we can get all the other ones. I like personally using a speed handle, which I'll show you that in a second on these. You just do everything hand tight. You really do not need to do these very tight. If you do, this cork will get squeezed and it will push out and you'll have a leak. Show you that in just a second here. And on again, we can look at this. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. It was actually almost 4 quarts exactly, like right on the line. So we're gonna have 4 quarts, and then we will start her up and warm her up. I have transmission funnels here. They're made by BG. They are pretty nice. I do like them. Save me a lot of time because I can do a lot of fluid all at once. So we're going to keep the car up while we fill it just to make sure that we don't have any leaks. There we go. Nice and tight in there. We're going to use 4 quarts. I have 3 right here, but I also have 4 right here. Ready to go. Or 3.78 liters, but it's 4 quarts. So we're going to use this whole thing. Just making sure there's no leaks at the bottom of the funnel. See, trans funnel is nice though because you can fill this thing pretty high when she doesn't leak. Alright guys, putting the cover on. We got the tranny filled. Gonna start the car up, let it warm up. We're gonna make sure that there's no leaks. And that's it. Super quick. Alright, let's put the bottom covers on, make sure there's no leaks. Check the back, just run your finger around the edge. Nice and clean. Put these covers on anyway. If it does continue to not leak, great. If it does start to leak, we can still see it. No big deal. Alright, we just got in the car. She goes forward perfectly fine. Reverse is perfectly fine. Let's make sure she keeps moving. Alright, I'm just gonna go around my lot real quick. Shift to second was perfect. Alright, I think we're good to go. Now call the customer, let them know they can pick up their car. Alright guys, talk to you next time.